Did you know you can use an app called the Apple Classroom to have more control over the iPads within your classroom? This is a really good idea if you'd like to be able to view the screens on the iPads, if you'd like to direct iPads into one specific app or even a website that you want the students to be using. It's also a great option to be able to lock iPads when necessary. Let's take a look at how to use this incredible app. Okay, we're going to start out with the quick and easy teacher and classroom setup. The first thing you need to do on your teacher device is make sure you have the Classroom app, the Apple Classroom app, and it is a nice orange little app with the teacher standing in kind of front of a chalkboard, or whiteboard I guess it would be. The students do not need to have this app on their device, and I will show you how to get students in next. So we're going to go ahead and open up your app. The first thing it's going to do is just kind of give you your welcome, and then it's going to have you set this up with teacher information. Now the way you list this here is going to be how your students see you listed when they enroll in your class. So I'm going to enter my name. As long as I'm here, I can go ahead and do a little bit of editing as far as what picture they will see. So if you tap the little image next to my name, it's going to let me either choose to take a photo or choose a photo from my library. I'll just choose a photo, my camera roll, get the photo. You can kind of zoom in on what you want students to see. And there is the image now that students will see when they are enrolled in my class. The next thing you do is you start by creating your classes. Now in here, you want to give this enough of a descriptive name so that students will know what class it is. I wouldn't do just like hour one, but I would put the name of your class. And then for me, I do like to have the hour that it is, so I know how to open up the correct class when the student comes in. So this would be for my first hour history class. I can choose a nice little icon. It's a little worldly class, and I always like the color purple. So there we go. And that is actually how easy it is to set up each of your classes. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we are going to show you what it looks like to enroll students. The device on the right is the student device, and the device on the left is my teacher device. So we're going to start. I'm going to open up. I've got Apple Classroom open. I'm going to add students into my sample class. I'm just going to touch and open that. You can see I do have one student already enrolled. His name is Johnny, but the fact that it shows offline means his iPad is not on or he's not in the area. And we'll come back to that in a minute. So now when I want to add students, what I have to do is I just tap the Add button in the top menu. And when I do that, I get a code. Now this code will be different each time I try to add students. Once you add students, they will stay in your classroom, but if you add a new student on a separate day, when you tap this, you're going to get a different code. So don't worry about writing this down and remembering it. Now when I have this code, I'm going to tell students that they are going to be enrolling in Apple Classroom. To do this, they do not need the Apple Classroom app. Instead, they're just going to go into Settings. In Settings, you will see that the Classroom app is showing up. I do have Bluetooth on. If they don't have Bluetooth on, the Classroom app might not be showing up here. So first thing you want to do if you're troubleshooting at all is say, let's turn your Bluetooth on. And then once your Bluetooth is on, soon the Classroom app should pop up on the left column under Settings. So then I can go ahead and tap that. And here you're going to see the classes that are available to add. And it says right up there, Add Sample Class. So we'll go ahead and add the sample class. Again, here I just have to enter in that code that the teacher is going to give them, and the code is 8379. Once I do that, they click the Add button. And on my device, you can see on the left that it shows that Angie is ready to join my class. When I have all of the students in that are going to do that, I can go ahead and click the Add button on my iPad. Now I do that, you can see I've got my two students. I've got Angie and I've got Johnny in class. I can see on the bottom right corner of Angie's name that she is in settings right now. So you can see easily where she's at. If I go ahead and tap my home button, that will change again for me. So that's all it takes to get students enrolled. Again, if I want to add a new student tomorrow, just click the add button. It will give me a different code, but I can add students at any time. Now once I have students in my classroom, I have some control over their devices. First thing you'll notice is kind of cool, the fact that Johnny is not lit up, because that tells me either Johnny's iPad is not on or Johnny's not in class. This is a nice way to quickly be able to take attendance, especially if students aren't in normal seating. So I can look on and I can say, Johnny, are you here? Hey Johnny, why don't you go ahead and turn your iPad on so we can see that you're in the classroom. Then let's just go to something I kind of like, and that is the Screens app. If you go halfway across the menu, if I tap the Screens, it will show me a small image of exactly where each person is, and that pops up on their device. So I can see that Angie is at home. If she goes into an app, that will change on my screen as well. So I can see where she's going. I can see, Angie, let's focus and get back to where you should be, and I can see where she's at. This is a nice way to monitor when students are working. You can see what their progress is. If I tap on Angie's icon on my device, it will actually give me some options that I can do just to her device only. So if I want to kind of zoom in and see how her work is going, she is reading in a book, and I want to see what page she's on. If I tap View Screen, it will show me exactly where she's at. So it's a nice way I can, again, monitor students are where they should be. Done, and close that up. Some other things I can do with just this one device, I can go ahead and lock it up. I see she's distracted. If I tap the lock button, it locks her up until I unlock her. And then this is a great way to get attention for those students that may have wandered. A lot of times I'll come up and have that conversation with them, but let's stay on track so you can get your work done. When I'm done, I can go ahead and unlock that. Whoops. I can unlock that. What that does, that brings her back to her home screen. She has to unlock the device and get back in. Whoops. And then that will let her have her device back. Some other options that I have while in here, I can go ahead and open. If I click open, it will show me all of the apps that I have on my device, and I could send students into these apps. So right now, if I want to send all of my class into something like Slides, if I tap that, it will automatically shoot their device into Slides. Again, a nice way to keep students focused. I'm going to be done. If I go back 1 second, where if I click the open button, one thing, if you look on this, on the very bottom of the screen, it says lock in app after opening. So if I want them in an app and I don't want them wandering around, I want them just to be checking their grades for a while. Oops, sorry, I didn't do that correctly. Before I tap the app, you have to click lock in app. I tap this, and now, while I have this locked in, anyone in the class is not able to get into any other app. So again, nice way to keep students focused. Maybe you want to give them a quiz or make sure they're working on an assignment just using the one app that you've assigned it with. When I'm done, I can go ahead and let them out of that app. So here I've unlocked just one person at a time. If Johnny was in class, he would still be locked in. If I want to unlock all devices, I just have to click my lock. Again, we're locked. I'm going to, unlock all devices, sorry. Again, it shoots me back to my home screen. Some other things you can do here along with the apps, there is the Navigate. This probably isn't my favorite way to send students into an app, and I'll show you a better way in a minute, but because it really only goes with things that are in your bookmark. So if you've got things bookmarked, it will do it, but if you don't have something bookmarked ahead of time, it doesn't give you that option. But again, you've got that lock-in app after opening. You've got lock, we've got mute if you want to silence people on your devices, on the devices. Screens shows you all their devices, Add is to be able to add students, and then group is your ability to be able to put students into groups. So if I want to have different groups that I might send to different places, I can create groups. Maybe I've got my lower readers, my higher readers, my keep focus group, whatever it is. I can do just a little bit more by putting them into a group and not having to put the entire class into one spot. So I said I'll show you an easier way to send things to students. So I've got, maybe I want to send students a picture of something that I want them to work on. I'm going to have them all see this image right here. And so to easily send them into this image, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit my share button. And the same way I could airdrop something before, I can still airdrop in a normal way, but because I have my Apple Classroom open, it actually gives me the entire class in one button to push everyone the same thing. So if I go ahead and tap sample class, it would then push this out to everyone instantly, which is a nice way to quickly send things to a student. I can do this with documents, with PDFs. I can do this with websites. Anywhere you can share something. So if I go back into Safari, if I wanted to share a health and wellness page, I can tap my share and then I can drop my entire class at one time. So it's kind of a nice option in Apple Classroom is to be able to quickly share using AirDrop because that group has been created. You can, again, lock students into apps. You can do either the whole class at once, or you can do individuals, or you can do groups. Now what's really nice as well with this is that when I'm all done and I click End Class, what it's going to give me is a quick summary of all of my students and where they've been. So the first thing it shows me is all the apps used during this session. And then below that, it will show your list of students and where they were. So if I tap on Angie, I can see exactly where she was for how long. So she was in Campus Portal for 2 minutes, iBooks for 49 seconds, quickly went into Photos, quickly went into Settings. She tapped Calendars for 7 seconds. This is a nice way to be able to check on students after the fact if you need to. And one thing, when you're done using this, as soon as I click Done, this report is lost. So if I want to save this for any reason, what I would do is a screenshot right now. So if I needed to use this to show parents or to show for maybe an IEP meeting or something, I might take a screenshot of it to show exactly where the student was during my class. And that is all the incredible things that Apple Classroom can do.